today to take questions from people, and we're going to move to the front.
Tell them we only take easy questions.
All right, only easy questions. Who's got a question here to start off, here in the bleachers? What's your name? What's your name, mate? Sorry? Hee-chan has a question.
Hello, sir. Welcome to Sydney. My name is Hee-chan, and I've got a simple question, I guess.
Give me a simple answer.
Yeah, a lot of people asked you about heroes yesterday and the day before, but I'm interested more in villains. So, who do you think is most interesting villain to you, or do you have any interesting stories of how you came up with that certain villain?
All right, now let me tell you all, I don't hear as well as I used to, so I miss a lot of words. I heard you say villains, and I heard you say how I come up with, but I'm not sure. This guy, you're wondering who this strange-looking guy is. He's my interpreter. This is Max Anderson. Max, what the hell did he say? All right, but you gotta learn to keep your interpretation short. These people don't want to sit there while you're whispering to me and they say, what the hell are we doing here? So, the villains are the most important ones in any story. We already know the hero, but you want to know who's he gonna fight, and you have to make the villain seem as if there's no way the hero can beat him. Because if it looks like an easy fight, you buy another book, or buy a DC book or something. So, we give a lot of thought to the villains, at least I did. I'm very clumsy, I'll probably knock that over. I shouldn't touch it. Oh, wow. Hey, do I look good? See my face? Turn this one. Yes. No good. Anyway, what was the question? Who's my favorite? What's the most interesting villains here? Well, they're all interesting. I always liked the Green Goblin because nobody knew who he was until we finally said who he was. And Dr. Doom, have I told you about Dr. Doom?
Please do.
Well, if I have, then I'll intend it. I like Dr. Octopus. I don't know if you'd call Galactus a villain. I think you have to call him a villain. Anybody who wants to destroy our whole planet, he can't be a good guy. So I thought he was a villain. You know, in the first Fantastic Four movie, they didn't know how to put Galactus on the screen. They didn't know how to do it. So they didn't bother. They just called him by name and you never saw him. That was a cowardly way out. And what other thing? Dr. Doom is always my favorite. I like the way he looked. He looks like a villain. The mask and everything. And I like a villain who's the king of his own country. Nobody ever did that before we did it. We have a king who's a villain. How do you like that? You know, of course, if he comes over here and commits a crime, he has diplomatic immunity, so you can't do anything about it. And I think that's about enough for that question, don't you? I forgot what the main question was anyway, but thank you for asking it, whoever you are and whatever the question was.
Over on your left, Stan, you should have a question.
Just up here at the back.
Pardon me?
Right, Stan here, young. Great to have you in Australia. I just wanted to ask, you've seen all of your characters in all of these movies portrayed by these actors. Is there one actor in particular that you found has really nailed the character really well?
Is there one that the model character works? Those are the only words I can get. What was the rest of it? Well, I think today, the one actor that has really captured the role so incredibly is Robert Downey Jr. I am so glad that I sat him down and gave him all those pointers. But he's really great. And I think the others are too. I think we're very lucky. And most of the actors we have in all our movies are pretty good. And there's something very special about Robert Downey Jr. And I love a cameo he did, that I did where I'm with three pretty blonde women and they're very close to me and I have my arms around them at a party. And he walks by and he says, nice going, F, or something like that. You don't know his You have that. And why did I mention that? I should find out what you like, so let's go to the next question.
Stan, on your right, I've got Seth and his brother. Two brothers again? Seth and Noah.
Hi, Stan.
On your right, Stan. Over here. Look for the light. On your
Very
right.
important that I face the right way. Okay.
On your right, you look for the light. Here
Look
we
at
go.
the light right there. Okay, thank you for making it easy.
The question is, who is your favorite superhero besides Spider-Man?
My favorite superhero besides Spider-Man. Gee, every one of them. I love my superheroes. It's like asking a parent who's his favorite children. I mean, I love the Fantastic Four. Ain't nobody like the Hulk. And the X-Men are great. And who else is there? I don't know, I can't even remember them all. I like Doctor Strange. There's going to be a movie pretty soon about Doctor Strange. I like the Black Panther. He's going to be in a movie. And of course, Ant-Man. If you can get used to cheering for a hero who's that size, you're going to be seeing Ant-Man pretty soon. And I told you I like... Oh, and Thor! What's the matter with Thor, huh? Well, let me give you an example of how incredibly scientific I am. I wanted Thor to be able to fly from the Earth to Asgard and from Asgard to the Earth. Now, Superman, if you'll excuse the expression, Superman flies with no visible means of propulsion. He just goes like this. And you see him flying. Not so with me. I have to have a scientific reason why Thor flies. So I came up with this thing that you can't beat. He has the hammer. There's a little thong wrapped between the hammer and his wrist. He spins the hammer as fast as a plane's propeller. Then he lets it go. And it goes flying, but it's attached to his wrist. So it takes him with it. You couldn't get anything more scientific than that. Eat your heart out, DC. All right, next question that I can answer equally idiotically. Where am I facing? On my left.
Right at the back. Spider-Man.
What was that?
How did you come up with the idea for Spider-Man?
Well, how did I come up with the idea for Spider-Man? I saw an insect, a fly on the wall, and I thought it would be a great idea if I could get a superhero who could stick to walls like a fly. I didn't think of him as a spider initially, but you always have to get a good name for your hero. So I thought Insect Man, Mosquito Man, and then I got to Spider-Man, and it just sounded dramatic. Spider-Man. So that's how I got the idea. So I owe everything to that little fly on the wall. I'm really sorry I killed it.
Okay, Stan, you've got Jessica right here up the front, on your right.
Hi, Stan. I was just wondering, do you think it's possible? Do you think it's possible for someone to be called a fake fan? Because you hear a lot about fake gamer girls or like fake media girls.
I don't know why I can't hear it and you can. That's unfair. What did she say? Oh, a fake fan? Are there fake fans? None of my fans are fakes. I wouldn't tolerate a fake fan. Many of you are fakes I want to have here. I don't know how you can tell a fake fan. I'm lucky. I think I've got the greatest fans in the world. I think that, I was going to say, I think that Sydney is one of the greatest cities in the world, I'll tell you that. I wouldn't have flown all this distance if I didn't think so. Of course, they're paying me millions and millions of dollars. Next question.
What's your name? Jason has a question.
Hi Stan, I just wanted to know which was the hardest character to get perfect when you were designing your heroes?
The hardest to design, you mean the way the character looked? My biggest problem was the Hulk. I had two, the Hulk and Iron Man. We'll start with the Hulk. I wanted to get a monster who was the hero and who would look sort of sympathetic. I wanted the readers to like him, but I wanted him to be an ugly monster. So poor Jack heard me. I said, Jack, I want you to draw me a lovable monster. And he did the best he could, and that was the Hulk. The funny thing about him, everybody used to wonder why the Hulk had purple pants. They said, if we go to a store and ask for a pair of purple pants, nobody has them. Where did he get them from? And I had nothing to do with that. I had a guy named Stan Goldberg who did all the coloring of the books. And when we did the Hulk, I said, here's what he looks like, give him a pair of pants. And he came up with purple, and I didn't care. And it was as simple as that. But books have been written about why the Hulk has purple pants. They should have just asked me. Our colors made him that way. Now, the other character that who else did I mention? I just want to make sure you were paying attention. Iron Man. If you remember the first issue of the Iron Man comic, and a lot of you have bought copies of it because I did signing. He's just wearing a gray metal type of iron all over him, very dull, but it was the first time that we did him. I was never satisfied with Iron Man's armor. If you have a whole set of Iron Man books, well, besides the point is, every one of those books, he looks a little different. Because in every story, I would tell the artist, can you make him look better than he looked in the story before? We kept getting different looks to him. It took the movie, with all their technical knowledge and all their special effects, to design the perfect Iron Man. We couldn't do it at Marvel. We couldn't make it look that good. And the only thing is, even in the movies, they changed.